Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna need you to get your wallet out because I'm about to tell you about a black woman who wrote a book that you should buy. This is Kay Sinclair, and she is quite possibly one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. I actually met Kay last year. She was a guest on my podcast, second season coming soon, where we talked about the collection of spooky short stories that she had written with her sister Dominique. It was an incredible experience. She was so sweet, so kind, so funny, and I knew we were going to be friends right then and there. Fast forward a few months, and I find out that she has written a book for Bindery, which was House of Frank, which at the time I really didn't know anything about it other than the fact it was written by Kay, and I already knew that she was a phenomenal writer. I already knew I was going to like the book because I already knew what Kay was capable of as a writer. What I didn't know was that it was going to be one of the best books I read this year. Now, if you have held off on reading this book because you've seen it talked about as a cozy fantasy and you don't read cozy fantasy, I need you to know that was also a hesitation that I had. It's not a cozy fantasy. It is a gut-wrenching look at grief through the medium of comfort. It is warm and endearing and comforting in the way that cozy fantasy is. But from my understanding, you don't leave cozy fantasy weeping and reconsidering your outlook on life, but you will leave House of Frank that way. This book wrestles through grief and pain, and it does it through the medium of deep and inspiring and loving and intimate community. Our main character has been grieving her sister, whom she lost about a year before, and she finds herself at Frank's house, where her sister wanted her ashes to be buried in a ceremony. But instead of just the quick ceremony and moving on with her life, she finds an entire community of people who are also suffering in some way. People who are leaning on one another and on Frank and on the magic of this place to find a new chance at life. People who may have never connected under any other circumstance, but are now absolutely dependent on the relationships they have developed in this community of people. And we watch as our main character's walls begin to crumble under the weight of that kind of love. We watch her form relationships that she never thought she'd have again. We watch her start to dream again, even though she has firmly convinced herself that her life is over. And we see her find hope again. This book is everything. So like I said, get your wallet out if you haven't already done it, because you need a copy of this book, and you need it now. I'm going to post a link down below, and I want you to use it. Happy reading, y'all.